Welcome back, guys, and welcome to the channel if it's your first time. We are the guys that would rather be in good standing with this amazing community more than anything else. My name is Brad. I go by The Cool Breeze online and in the video game Metalstorm. And this series is dedicated to helping new and upcoming squads learn a little bit more than what they possibly do right now to help improve healthy competition by giving a hand up rather than keeping people down. I also play for currently the number 6 ranked squad in the game named Dystopia, and I'm also in the top 500 on the trophy leaderboards at the moment. My squad and friends from around the squad, which many are the very best in the world in the game, all contribute to these answers, but this by no means means that I or this series is gospel. And if players out there know something different or would simply like to add to the conversation, please feel free to do that in the comments, but do it respectfully, otherwise the moderators won't let it by. But we want to encourage and we hope that more players have a useful dialogue that only improves the game. We at the podcast feel that Metalstorm is one of the most brilliant and special communities in gaming, and we feel lucky to be a part of it. Alright, Metalstormers, let's get into today's episode of the Ready Room. You may have seen in the thumbnail, today we're going to cover the MiG-21 and we're going to cover the A4. Also, I want to touch base on the 2 game modes of Deathmatch and Air Superiority because it was brought to my attention that possibly some of the new players don't know or understand how to play Air Superiority. But I'm not convinced of that, so we'll get into that towards the end of the video here. But let's start with the MiG-21. Now, we've been doing the hangar in progression pretty much, you know, some of the planes that are available as you open stuff up. So, the MiG-21. Now, I've heard mixed reviews on this, as like all planes, but to me, this isn't that bad of a plane. It comes with 6 IRs, and at level 8 it gets its basically afterburner burner. So I don't remember exactly what it's called, but basically it's able to have a quick thrust boost. Basically, it's got a cooldown and stuff, but I like that feature. It also has reserve fuel, so that's pretty neat. Now, for me, you're going to see that this is a TDM. However, this plane, for me, works pretty well in air superiority. A lot of people don't care for it for whatever reason. I'm assuming it's based on armor, because it is kind of made of paper, but, you know, if you fly it well enough, you know, you can make it work for you. And even here in Team Deathmatch, you'll see that, you know, it's not a bad plane. Really what it's about, just like every other plane in this game, is resource management. So as long as you can keep an eye on your fuel and the reserve fuel and, yeah, basically your munitions, you're in pretty good shape. Like, its cannons aren't bad. The IR missiles really rule the day, I should say. So I don't know. I don't mind this plane at all. And you're gonna see a lot of instances where its agility and its acceleration really come into play. Like right here, somebody called out, you know, the SU-25, and there we go. I just happened to be in the right spot and was able to kind of jump on it quickly. Now, another thing, I know we've touched on it in prior episodes, but Discord is such a game changer. Now, in all these lobbies you'll see tonight from me, these are broken lobbies, so I wasn't on Discord with most of these people. And you're going to see how it really affects gameplay when we get into the air superiority mode. But even here, right, if it wasn't for basically, I can't remember the name here. If it wasn't for this one pilot calling stuff out, I would have had no idea and virtually would have been playing, by myself, which is always a bad idea. Talia. Yeah, Talia did a really good job there. And basically, with TDM, I always try to find a wingman. I try to link up with them, and like 2 heads are better than one. More than one gun is always better. So, but yeah, that's it for the MiG-21 in deathmatch. So I'm gonna fly the A4 here in deathmatch, and the A4 is actually one of those planes that I'd get it as soon as it's available. Reason being, after it's buff, it's having a machine gun pod is incredible. Those guns hit really, really hard. It's an absolute killer. And funnily enough, the A4 was always one of my favorites, even before the buff, and it's just because its roll rate and agility was ridiculous. It's the oddest thing to be excited about a plane like this, this old. I don't think people would expect it, but I fell in love with this plane early, just because of its roll rate, and honestly, it's got enough burner that you can stay on it pretty well. So going head to head with this is typically a bad idea. There are certain planes that can get away with it. Obviously the heavy hitters, A-10, SU-25, but even that's a challenge. So that really comes down to the skill of the pilot and their marksmanship, really. So you're gonna see it is a little slower. It accelerates fairly decently, in my opinion, though. It's a little slower, but it's perfect to stick to the wall. If you glue yourself to the wall or around these little canyons you'll see here, I mean, you can just chew people up over and over. And it's just now that they also put those rocket pods on there, it just it's even more strength for a killer plane. Yeah, right there you're gonna see that I must have lost my situational awareness. So I know that we've also touched on this, but radar. So radar. It's one of the most important things. Again, you'll see later on in the video why I'm preaching this. But obviously you want to know where everybody's at, but to take it a step further, you want to know where everybody's at for your teammates as well. Sometimes you can drag an opponent into your teammates. Sometimes you can see an opponent being drugged into you by a teammate. So it's really important to keep situational awareness. And you can see what happens when my lack of situational awareness there fell right out of the sky and cost my team, a death. So that's something else with team deathmatch. You don't necessarily have to be the strongest player as long as you don't die. If you're able to come out of a match, with a positive KD, that goes a long way to helping your squad. So the guys that'll come out and do, say, like 1 kill and 5 deaths, those are the people that make it hard to play with, for teammates anyway. You're kind of rolling the dice and gambling with random lobbies anyway. So I don't know, some people do pretty good alone like that, and other people need the team. So, and it's really boils down to flight styles. Are you able to fly both styles, or are you only good at one or the other? And I would err on the side of being better on the team side, but I do okay alone as well. So by the time you reach a certain level, I would assume that most players got comfortable flying alone to a degree. And then once you get used to flying with your teammates, that can also be a detriment too, because you're used to being able to count on, you know, certain things that may not happen in, you know, random lobbies. So just throwing it out there. But anyway, as you can see, the A4 is just ridiculous, and it's always a good time when I get to fly it. So absolutely. All right, so here's where I get to explain a little bit about air superiority, right? Now, this is a bot game, let me throw it out there. So, the biggest thing in a broken lobby is communication. I don't know if you've seen that, but I you know, these are bots, but I said, hey, I'm heading to C. Now, I make a huge mistake here. You see that a teammate is in front of me, even though it's a bot. Right there, I should have taken a right and basically headed off those two incoming enemies. The reason why is he doesn't need me to hold his hand going through that ring, 1. 2, he's going to end up getting killed right here when I could have prevented that, or at least helped him with that. And then if this was a real person or a team game, I would expect to have an upset teammate right there. Even though I'm in a faster aircraft, I couldn't have beat him. And even if I could have beat him, he had the lead. And sometimes it's just fine to, you know, play as a team and not for yourself. Kind of to drive that point home. So I had somebody reach out and was like, well, you know, I don't think people understand how to play air superiority or whatever. I tend to think a lot of times when you're playing with a guy that keeps doing questionable stuff, like only goes for kills, or, you know, keeps trying to beat you to the ring, you know, you guys fly through it together. I would tend to think that that guy is flying missions or flying only for himself. You don't want to go so far into the conspiracy where you're thinking, okay, maybe it's a rival or somebody that doesn't like you, so they're, you know, doing their best to sabotage the game. But I've seen that happen before too. So there's all kinds of people out here, folks, not always the good ones. So I'll just throw that out there. And when you're in that kind of a spot, you know, again, that's why build strong relationships with your team. Especially in air superiority, it's really hard to fly randoms in air sub. In fact, I don't do it very much, if at all anymore. The gamble's just too great. So even if you have friends or something, right? Use your friends list or something. That's a lot different than, you know, flying completely alone and taking that gamble. In fact, today, I'll tell you why comms is so important. Yesterday, I should say. As a team, we decided not to play air sup because 4 of us weren't available for Discord communication. So we dropped a game, and we knew exactly what it was. It was hard for us to communicate, even though you'll see continually, you know, I'm marking out where I'm heading, even though these are bots. I just did it as a example. It gets to the point where even that's too slow. So Discord is definitely a must for the top teams in air superiority. It's absolutely good for, you know, deathmatch as well, but it's almost required for air sup against some of the top teams. So I would definitely say inside the top 5, you've got to be on comms for most of your battles. So yeah, I just can't stress that enough. But anyway, guys, I mean, that's pretty much it for today. Hopefully, you know, this helps out a little bit. And again, any questions, throw them in the comments. Don't forget the CoolKegs podcast. We do a variety of things, not just stuff from Metalstorm. We have general podcasts, we have sports stories, we have mini documentaries on aircraft. We have really a plethora of things, so be sure to check us out. Maybe give us a like and a sub. Yeah, be sure to flip through the playlist, and maybe you'll find another video you might like. So that would be fantastic. Also, don't forget, please go show some love to Xanatos Music. He does all our gameplay background. He also does a show called Zan's Weapon Depot, and basically what he does on that show is he takes little breakdowns into weapon systems that he's used in his own personal military career. So like I said, be sure to swing by, maybe give him a like and a sub. And I guess that's it really for this one, guys. Don't forget, we're on Rumble, Facebook, TikTok. There's Patreon if you want to help us on our road to 1,000 subs. We're doing pretty well, but we'll just take any donation, wrap it back up into the channel, and hopefully continue to make even better content for you guys. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it, though. I want to shout out my dystopian guys. How you doing, fellas? And really, keep your eye out for the Unbound tournament as well. We'll be ramping back up in the spring here. So, and lastly, don't feel shy. If you guys would like to add to the conversation, you have a question, be sure to hit us up in the comments, because again, we really want this to be kind of a public square, kind of a little bit of a place to have a dialogue with the entire community. So please feel free to drop a comment, and yeah, if you guys have anything to add, please do that. So yeah, guys, other than that, thank you for watching. You guys are amazing, and until next time, blue skies and happy hunting.